What is up, everybody? It's your boys back again with another episode of Franchise Tagged Fantasy Football Podcast. As always, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe. You're really going to want to comment on this video because guess what? It's the first official episode of the end season of the 2023 season. That's right, Ray. Football is back.
We finally made it.
I know. By the time you see this episode, football's tomorrow.
Yeah, we made it. I mean, honestly, when you're watching this, it could be today. It could be tonight.
I think it's probably going to be tomorrow.
Maybe, probably. Hopefully it's tomorrow and tonight. Hopefully, yeah. Watch it all. Watch it all.
Just watch it all. Yeah, just watch it all. A few pieces of housekeeping news. Move your Thursday night players out of your flex and into a positional player position. We say it every year. They're going to be playing first. You want to have that flexibility later in the week in your fantasy teams. If you didn't know that, now you know. That's a pro strat. And move your Monday night players to flex no matter what, because they're the last players you need playing. And if there's some news like we're going to cover later, a last minute game time decision, you want to be able to flex out of that spot.
Yeah, and specifically for the news we're going to talk about, I know why you clicked on it. I know why you're here, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to give you pivot options. I promise you. We're going to tell you what to do, but please stick around. We will get to it. I promise you. Stick around.
Yes. So with that being said, week 1 NFL season 2023, take 1, episode 1. Let's jump into the news and notes.
Oh, you thought we were taking 2 takes? That ain't gonna happen. No way. I want to hear all the mistakes.
This is a 1-take show.
Yeah. All right. So, Aaron, I'm going to talk about the first one here. Sean Tucker named the number 2 running back in Tampa Bay. Now, I think that's kind of a tell as to what Rachaad White will be this season. I think he could be more comfortable starting him because do I believe Sean Tucker is going to be taking carries? No. So that's how I view it. I view that as kind of more safety. They didn't go sign somebody.
I would agree with that one. So just deeper leagues, dynasty leagues, especially someone to kind of just roster, just to see what happens.
Dynasty specifically.
Yeah. So just to see what happens. Colts, the Indianapolis Colts in the news again. They're expected to use running back by committee. And it's Gannon, that's their head coach, right? Or Steichen. Well, they both look the same.
I don't know. Where's Brennan at? Where's he at?
I know. I think it's Shane Steichen. He basically said that whoever has the hot hand, they are going to let them get the run. So expect a running back by committee there, at least until JT comes back. Even when JT comes back, they might just say to hell with it. We're going to go by committee anyways.
To be fair, if it's Zach Moss sucks.
I mean, if it's Deion Jackson, then the same boat.
Deion Jackson's better than Zach Moss.
I mean, they brought in James Robinson for a workout.
That's kind of, yeah. Look,
which is another piece of news on here, but still. Anyway,
maybe don't start any Colts running back right now. Moving on, because I think the Colts right now are a dumpster fire until they figure out some other things. Sorry, Brendan. Sorry to break it to you. Devin Achane returned to practice yesterday without non-contact jersey, so he's trending to play. Should be, which kind of takes my risers and fallers take that Brendan and I had on episode and just shoved it right out the window, because after that episode came out the day later, Jeff Wilson went to IR. I still think that, Devin Achane has a role, and I think he's going to get on the field a little more than everybody thinks he is.
I
think he does. I mean, what has he got? Raheem Mostert in front of him? How many games has he played this season? How many? 5?
There we go.
There you go. You just answered the question for me.
Oh, there we go. So up next, I think this is a pretty big piece of news. But for some reason, the Falcons beat writers, and they know more about the ins and outs of specific teams, the specific beat writers for said teams. They are out on Kyle Pitts. They're super down, super low on Kyle Pitts. I don't know if that's a Desmond Ridder problem or a Kyle Pitts problem. So I don't know how. I mean, take that with a grain of salt, I guess, right?
Yeah, because if it's a beat writer, I care slightly, but not anywhere near as much as if it's somebody if you heard from the locker room or something like that. You know what I mean? Like you heard something a little more intangible than oh yeah, maybe I need to listen to that. But beat writers, players will tell you right now, beat writers don't know shit. Yeah, they don't know nothing. So that's kind of how I see it. But I do think grain of salt, but it's too late now. You already drafted him, so you got to ride the wave.
Oh, the roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah. Yeah. So Mark Andrews is set to return to practice on Wednesday. Today, when we're actually airing this, right? When you're seeing this, your eyeballs are feasting on this, my beautiful face and Aaron's beautiful face. But I wasn't really concerned about Mark Andrews to begin with. That wasn't something I was worried about. So I don't know about you, Aaron. I don't.
No, not really. I mean, it's Mark Andrews with his diabetes diagnosis and things like that, having type 1 diabetes. He's bound to miss at least one game, if not more. So, especially in Dynasty, go get Isaiah Likely because he's a very good pass catcher that's just sitting behind Mark Andrews.
I think Isaiah Likely gets kind of like a Darren Waller-esque career path, and he ends up being a thing on somebody else's roster.
Yeah.
Because he looked good in the samples that we got from him.
Yep. Robert Saleh says both Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook will play in week 1. Now, play how much? Still up for discussion.
You see how we're turning the temperature up here on each bit of news? We're turning it up just a little bit.
They will both be playing week 1, so depending on your thoughts and feelings on them, roll them out there, I guess.
I would rather, and right now, if you had to ask me between the two, I'm going to go Dalvin right now and just kind of see how it goes. But like, I feel like you drafted him similarly in position wise in your draft. So, man, do you bench Breece Hall this week? We'll talk about it. We're going to talk about it when we get to that game. We're going to talk about it. I promise you.
That's a Monday night game, so that will be Friday. We'll talk about it Friday.
Yeah. Good. Yes.
I would say the hottest piece of news, the most spicy piece of news that dropped today that, everyone was breaking news. It is that Travis Kelce hyperextended his knee in practice. Good news in this, it's not an ACL tear. Test confirmed that it's not that. It's just a hyperextension. He has inflammation of his knee, uncomfortable. Kind of problematic news in this is they're going to test him out today, Wednesday, and see if he's good, and chances are he's going to be a game time decision. So bad news in that means if you drafted him in the first round, like a lot of people did, basically every league has one person that drafted him in the first round. So if you are one of those unlucky few people, you have to have a pivot option.
Yeah.
We're going to run through some names for pivot options, but you have to have a pivot option. And I know it sucks because he's not going to go and be listed out until right before the game. So if you have that option to put him in an IR slot as an outlisted player, you're not going to get it until right before the game starts.
Yeah. So obviously right now, Noah Gray is the hottest piece of ass that's ever existed. He's, what has he got? 315,000 ads right now on
Sleeper alone.
Like that to me, that's one of the highest numbers I've seen. So I think obviously he's 2% owned in Sleeper weirdly, but Aaron pointed out to me like, there's still a lot of other teams and maybe the algorithm hasn't caught up, whatever. Noah Gray clearly is the ad for Travis Kelce owners. Would I do that to snipe the Travis Kelce owner?
No.
I don't think I'd burn a roster spot on a backup tight end because I don't want to.
Nope.
Like
I'm not wasting waiver wire priority or anything like that. If you have like some leagues, for example, some of my leagues are daily waivers where it runs every day. Everyone gets an equal opportunity to pick up a player. If it's an open market, sure, if you're feeling froggy, do it. But when Noah Gray gets into the game, keep it in the back of your mind. It's not going to be a plug and play Travis Kelce replacement. Patrick Mahomes is going to go to other people rather than force it to Noah Gray.
I will say that if you had to pivot to Noah Gray from Travis Kelce, I think you're fine. I don't like, he's looked good when he's got the work. He's looked fine. He's looked serviceable. He's not Travis Kelce.
Yeah, you're not going to get a 10 catch for 115 yards and 3 touchdowns kind of ceiling, but I could see 5 for 50 and a tutter.
Yeah, maybe he gets. All you're doing at this point, if you're the Travis Kelce owner, praying that you get a touchdown. That's really what you're doing.
Yep.
So some other names, Aaron, if you mind, do you want me to run through them real fast for you here?
I'll go with 2, and then you can kind of take over. Tyler Higbee outside of Noah Gray would probably be my number 1, especially with the Cooper Kupp news. They're going to need someone to throw the ball to there as well. So Tyler Higbee would be my number 1 ad if you are the Travis Kelce owner. Juwan Johnson might be a little sneaky snart on the back end. Those are kind of the 2 guys that I would be kind of looking at there.
So for me, what I'd be looking for, if those 2 guys aren't available, because Tyler Higbee's a little higher. I think he's at 60% or so right now on Sleeper. Juwan Johnson
he's at 69%.
So he's much higher. So he might be there, but most likely he's not. Juwan Johnson is at 30% on Sleeper. This is ownership, so they're on rosters right now on the Sleeper app. I would be looking at Greg Dulcich, another name that I like. He's at 48%, so halfway there. He might be there, he might not. Jake Ferguson, I think, might have a role carved out in what's supposed to be a high-powered offense, and Dak likes throwing to the tight end. Could be a good, move. And my dart throw for this, and this is like, if you couldn't find anybody else and people are rostering 2 tight ends in your league, which is gross. Stop it. That's disgusting. Luke Musgrave. He is the starting tight end for the Packers. He has shown a rapport with Jordan Love. He is going to be on the field most likely 80+% of the plays. I would take a dart throw on him over, let's say, Logan Thomas, or like maybe even Tyler Conklin. Maybe those are pretty equal. Last name that I'd like to bring up, Michael Mayer being at 30%. Without Devontae, Devontae taking the majority of the pass defense, Michael Mayer is going to have a role, and he's going to be on the field a hell of a lot. So I just like the availabilities of being on the field. You're hoping for a score. You're hoping for a touchdown. That's what you're doing. You're hoping for a touchdown.
And with that being said, hoping for a touchdown, I would bring up one more name as a dart throw. I mean, if you have Travis Kelce, you're already taking a goose egg anyways if he doesn't play. Roll out Irv Smith. Cincinnati's offense is supposed to be high-powered. I think he's like 19% rostered on Sleeper. Joe Burrow's projected for 4,800 yards and over 40 touchdowns. I mean, between Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, I don't think they're catching 20 apiece. You know what I mean? So if you're hoping for a touchdown, Irv Smith might do it. When he's been on the field and not hurt, he does look pretty good with Minnesota. New offense, new system. Don't know how they're going to use them. I mean, if you're going to get a 0 anyways, might as well try if those other people are taken.
might as well hope you get a touchdown, right? High-powered offense is what I'm looking for, honestly.
Yep.
Is that it for the news here?
That pretty much covers the news and notes for today, man. We'll have to wait and see what else happens for the Friday episodes. All the news that comes out basically Wednesday and Thursday will be on the Friday episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to know what else we're doing today?
Well, before that, if you guys have any other questions about who you should, go take a look at, who to pick up, put it in the comments. I'll respond right away. Make sure that we get you guys set up for Thursday if we can. So if you guys are watching this, you guys still seeing this, let us know. We'll get to you as fast as we can.
Yep. Also, check your waiver wires for players that, like, if you just took someone with your last pick and you don't really plan on keeping them anyways, they're just there because you picked them. Go see if there's someone out there that you really want on your waiver wires right now.
Yeah.
Get them for cheap before they blow up.
Yeah. Like a tank.
All right. Ready for this?
Yes.
We're going to jump into the Thursday night game. We're going to preview the Thursday night game. And then after the Thursday, because it's not enough football, we can't just do one game. It's the first real week of the season. No more mock drafts. Everyone's fantasy drafts are done. Shouldn't say everybody. Some people probably draft Wednesday night, but still, we're going to do the Sunday early slate games as well. Plus, we're going to give a couple starts of the week. When Brendan's back on Friday, we'll let him give a couple starts of the week on Friday to catch up because, I like to make fun of Brendan when he says some hot, spicy stuff. But Thursday game preview. Thursday night, September the 9th at 7:20 Central. What is that? 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific. We have the Detroit Lions traveling to the Kansas City Chiefs. Total points over under for this game is 53.5, and the Chiefs are favored by 5.5 points. As of today, Tuesday of this recording, lines could shift. People could bet that one way or the other. But what do you think about just the opening game in general? The Lions, they were the darlings last year. They got all the hype. Now they're coming in to play the Super Bowl contenders on another night when Chiefs are going to be getting all their rings. What do you feel about the matchup?
I like the matchup. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. And we don't get a lot of good Thursday night games. So this is one that I'm really excited to see. Obviously, because it's week 1, it's the first game of the slate. I'm going to be tuning in, but
Yep.
And because it's our job. It's our second job. This is our second job now.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm pretty pumped about it. A lot of pieces that I know a lot of people are hoping for here in this matchup. So, Aaron, do you want to go over the Lions side of the ball first?
We can. Lions side of the ball. I would be comfortable because the over-under is so high.
Oh, yeah.
Starting Jared Goff because I do think that they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. I'm obviously firing up Amon-Ra St. Brown. If you drafted him in the 3rd round, you're starting him, and I'm talking about Jahmyr Gibbs. Doesn't really matter if he's supposed to be the passing down back or pass catcher of the backfield, then that's who I want, because outside of Amon-Ra with Jameson Williams getting suspended, there's really, who do they have? Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs is the receiver too, and I kind of like, Sam Laporta for that reason. If he's out there, I think that could be a sneaky start. I think it could.
Maybe, but I just feel like, putting into perspective, there's only going to be so much pie to go around in a high pressure, high scoring game like this. I think it's mainly on the difference makers. I'm not saying Sam Laporta can't be a difference maker, but once again, rookie tight ends typically don't really do it anyways. So I'm sticking with probably for sure firing up Amon-Ra and Jahmyr Gibbs, Jared Goff. Those are like my start them if you have them. But I would be comfortable starting David Montgomery too, just in case for whatever reason happens and he inherits that Jamal Williams role of last year where they get down to the 5-yard line and they just let him pound it in 3 times.
Yeah. And honestly, I think that if he can sneak into the end zone a couple times, I'm with that. And with this high of an over-under, why not, right?
Yep. I mean, they're projected at least 3 touchdowns, I believe, is what it is.
Yeah, and that we're not going to go over these defenses. And if you're starting the kicker on your roster, please get rid of kickers in your league, please.
If you're starting the kicker, you want Harrison Butker in this one.
Oh, well, I guess yeah, sure. But like, I hate kickers and I hate defenses, so there's that. That's how I feel about them.
High scoring game like this, though, I'm not starting either defense.
Yeah, Kansas City side of the ball, Aaron.
You want me to start this one? I was going to let you.
I can start. No, I'll start
the reins on this one, man.
Good, yeah,
I don't want to talk all game.
Shocker. I know that a lot of you guys are on the fence about this, so let me put your mind at ease. I'm starting Patrick Mahomes.
I was thinking about pivoting to Russell Wilson, but that's just me.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
That is sarcasm for anyone who isn't paying attention.
Sorry. So obviously Patrick Mahomes. If Travis Kelce plays, if we're green lighted, I'm putting him in. If they're saying he's healthy to play, I'm putting him in. You didn't draft him in the 1st round, not to start him. So if he doesn't play, I'm comfortable going with Noah Gray. Now, the secondary pieces, this is where things kind of get a little dicey. I think, my personal opinion, Kadarius Toney is the start. I think Kadarius Toney is the start out of the receiving corps.
I don't even know if he still plays this week.
He said he's playing. I've seen everything saying he's playing. So
if he says he's playing, that's cool. But I care about if Andy Reid says he's playing.
That's who I'm going with. That's who I plant my flag on right now is Kadarius Toney, begrudgingly, but Kadarius Toney.
I'm probably out of the backfield. High scoring game. Chiefs, even when they don't need to be in a passing game script, are in a passing game script. I'm starting Jerick McKinnon in a flex in a deeper league.
I like that too, and Isaiah Pacheco as well. Putting him in.
Yeah, he'll get his run. I mean, he's an angry runner, so he typically breaks it off. Outside of the other receivers, Ray, I know you said Kadarius Toney. If you're wanting to gamble, I would start Sky Moore. But on your benches and where you were drafting Sky Moore, I think you have better value between him and Toney both. So I would look somewhere else, honestly.
I would agree. Like Kadarius is a flex consideration. Sky is off the flex for me. So is Rashee Rice. So is
Justin Ross. I'm not playing him or Rashee Rice.
No,
or Justin Watson.
Now for a dynasty pickup, for a DFS pickup, I want one of those. I want something in that.
I put Sky Moore in that spot, and I've already done some DK lineups for just specifically the showdown for Thursday night, and he's kind of that kicker for me.
Yeah,
hopefully he catches a big one.
Justin Ross for me is perfect for that situation because he's dirt cheap and he could be the guy. And we can find out Thursday he's it. So that's how I see it.
Yep, and that's the thing with the Chiefs offense being so high powered. You don't really know, outside of Travis Kelce, week to week, you never really know what other receiver is going to get it done. Tyreek's not there anymore. They haven't replaced him yet. You know what I mean?
It won't be MVS. Damn it! It won't.
That
be
is for
MVS.
Sure. That is for sure. And MVS only averages like 5 targets a game from Patrick Mahomes, anyways, and typically he'll drop at least 2 of them. So you're already looking at a 60% if he catches them catch percentage.
Being pretty generous with with 2 drops, being pretty generous. Like I
Yeah.
feel like it should be 3 or 4. That's
Yeah.
it. Nope, not hating. We're moving on. We're not
Nope.
talking about MVS no more.
Winner, who you got winning?
I got the Chiefs winning this one, but I think that the Lions cover that spread. I think they do.
I've got the Chiefs winning this one and the Chiefs covering the spread. I think they win by more than I think they win by 6 or more.
Okay. I like the over of 53 points. I like the over on that one.
Yep. I would agree with that. It's 53.5, so.
Yeah, I would go 54.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
54.
if you guys are betting, just remember they do half points for a reason.
Yeah.
To make you choose. All right. First up on the Sunday morning early slate, what is this for you? It's like the 11 o'clock kickoff for you?
10 o'clock,
Yep.
10 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock kickoff, noon kickoff. The first afternoon game, 1 p.m. We'll go off New York time because that's what everyone seems to run off of for TV. We have the Texans at the Ravens. This over under is 44 points. You want to take a guess at how much the Ravens are favored by, Ray?
Oh my God. Whew. Is a 10-point favorite? My goodness.
10-point favorites here.
Oh my goodness. This is as of Tuesday. That's crazy talk. Wow.
Yep, as of Tuesday. So for the Texans, Ray, who are you going to start for the Texans? I know the one and only person I'm going to start for the Texans.
It's Dameon Pierce, and that's really it, honestly. Yep. So outside of that, nothing else.
I agree. If you drafted Nico Collins or Tank Dell or anybody else in the wide receiver room, those guys are holds. You're going to wait and kind of see what happens week 1. I'm not running the gamble, running them out there week 1 on my roster. Especially where you draft them, you have better players, better value. The Ravens, I think we're all in agreement here. You're obviously smash starting Lamar. You're smash starting Mark Andrews. Majority of people are probably going to smash start J.K. Dobbins, and I don't think that it's a bad start in this one. And then for wide receivers, I'm rolling out Zay Flowers. I would start him if I drafted him.
In your flex?
Yes.
As a receiver 3, you're thinking?
Yep.
With the receiver 2 upside?
Yes.
Kind of how I see Odell. I would go Odell in this situation over Zay Flowers, but only because he's a proven commodity and Zay Flowers isn't.
Yep. I feel that. Taking the gamble on this one, I think Zay Flowers is a good enough athlete.
I like the gamble. I like it. Yeah.
So
I like it a lot.
That's where I would be on that one. I definitely have the Ravens winning this.
Yeah, I think that the Ravens blow the Texans out of the water. I'm not interested in any other part of this. I would go the Ravens defense.
Yeah, that's true. I would do the Ravens defense too if you're in the league of defenses and
Tucker.
kickers. Yep, there you go. Look at that.
I would start both of them.
Out on defenses and kickers, you got it. All right,
Yes.
so up next for the morning games, we have the Bucks at the Vikings. This is a 45.5 point over under, and Minnesota is favored by 6 points. Yeah,
I don't like this game at all. I don't like this game at all. So for the Bucks side of the ball, I'd be interested, obviously, going with Chris Godwin over Mike Evans right now, because I feel like you saw a little more mind meld with Baker with Chris Godwin than you did with Mike Evans. That's how I kind of saw it. And I'd like to just ride with that. But those are, again, low end receiver 2s for me at best right now. That's how I view it. And then Rachaad White. I think Rachaad White has a carved out role with nobody behind him that I'm concerned with at all. So
yeah, I would agree. And no one's starting Baker because he probably didn't get drafted in fantasy football, even though he's going to be one throwing the ball. And then on the Vikings side of the ball, smash start Jay Jettas.
Yep.
Smash start Alexander Madison's.
Yep.
Even though Bucks defense hopefully will bounce back and be a little tough. Then you're obviously smash starting TJ Hawkinson. You know, I almost got him in my friends and family draft in the 6th round.
Yeah.
On the way back to me.
Yeah.
He was falling, and then he went like 4 picks before me. And all I could think of is, if he makes it back to me, I'm never going to hear the end of it from Ray. But that's where, like, the 5th, 6th round is where I like the value of TJ Hawkinson rather than having to draft him where people draft him in the 3rd, beginning of the 4th. But I'm not knocking. He could be a good to great tight end, but I just didn't like the draft capital. That was my whole argument for the offseason.
No, I got your argument, and I'm gonna have your beer later. So
I heard you on Monday's episode. You're not winning the bet. It's okay.
I mean, it's in the stars. You can see it.
It's okay. So, anyways, yeah. Are you starting Jordan Addison in that number 2 role? You are.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm taking a dart throw on him as a flex consideration. Yes.
Does that mean for what you consider to be two premium players and a flex player, does that mean you're starting Kirk Cousins if you drafted a late QB?
Why do you make me say these things? Like, I don't want to. I feel queasy saying these things. Yes, I think Kirk Cousins is a start this week. I'm not really necessarily afraid of what the Bucs defense has to offer right now. I think the Bucs are going to be tanking too to see if they can maybe get one of those top end quarterbacks because Baker is not it. I'm also going Alexander Madison. You said Alexander Madison, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yep, I did.
I got the dogs barking in the background. If you guys hearing that, I'm trying to mute my mic. These damn dogs will shut up. So, outside of that, would you be interested in starting the Vikings defense? Even though I think the Vikings defense is going to be bad.
No, I'm not starting the Vikings defense.
I think they would be a good DraftKings start.
I would agree, but obviously the chalk play in DK this week is the Commanders, but we'll cover that.
Oh game. Yeah, but for me, this is again one of my
differentiator.
One of my starts of the week, I would say, if I had to throw one out early, it's definitely the Vikings defense because they're cheap on DraftKings.
Okay. Up next, dude, we have the Bengals at the Browns. Starting with the divisional game here for both of these teams. The over-under is 47.5 points, and Cincinnati's only favored by 2.5.
I think it's going to be a hell of a game.
I do too.
Hell of a game. So, who do you want to start
probably
with?
The game
here?
I'm going to be focused on most in the morning. Sorry. But Bengals, dude, it's obvious. Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins.
That's it. That's the line for me right now. Again,
if you're in the tight end predicament, Irv Smith. Yeah.
Irv Smith. But outside of that, I'm not interested in starting Irv Smith. He's burned me so many times, like burned everybody on planet Earth so many times. Like, I don't want to take the ride. I don't want to take the risk.
Nope. DK, if you're looking for one of those differentiators, you could probably try to throw Tyler Boyd in a couple lineups and see what happens.
Why can't he go to a different team? I've been saying it for how many years?
I don't know, man.
Why can't he?
I think you've been saying it since AJ Green's been on that squad.
Right? Like, just appease me, universe. Just let me have this, please. They gave me Tank Bigsby instead.
So the Brown side of the ball, who you got?
I like a lot of pieces right here. I really do. I like Amari Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Elijah Moore. I think that he's going to really show that his draft capital and his talent really shine. And this is the start. I really believe that. I definitely like David Njoku, especially if he's on your waivers. That is the move. Njoku, the move. And then Deshaun Watson. I'm rolling him out. And obviously, Nick Chubb, he's guaranteed the work. There's nobody there. So, but Deshaun Watson, I like Deshaun Watson this week.
Yeah. We'll see.
It's gonna be a great game. It's got a good over under with 47.5. I think it probably hits the over on that. So I like a lot of pieces in this matchup.
Yep, I do too. I do like a lot of pieces in this matchup. Moving on to a game that I'm not so excited about. I am excited about one of the teams playing in it, but I'm not excited about who they're facing. So I think that the fantasy value for being week one and everyone being so hyped about a couple specific players on this team that I'm about to talk about, I think it just drops and tanks because of who they're playing, not so much of the actual team themselves. But it is the Jags at the Colts, and I was talking about the Jags. And it sucks that week one, everyone's been waiting to see Calvin Ridley and Trevor Lawrence, see how it works out with them. Everyone's like Ray, been waiting to see if Tank Bigsby or if ETN's going to get the goal line work. Like, they play the Colts. They're going to get up early, even though they're only favored by 5. Total over-under is 45 points. They're only favored by 5. Lines are like this because it's week one and no one really knows what's going to happen. But yeah, the fantasy upside for some of these big fantasy players is going to be capped in this game is what I'm trying to say because of the Colts and how bad they are.
They do always play each other tough. The Colts and Jags play each other tough. So that is something. And like they have a proven track record of that. But let's say on the Jags side of the ball, you're not sitting Calvin Ridley.
No, you're not sitting any of them.
Yeah, you're not sitting Evan Ingram. This is where it kind of gets a little. You're not sitting Trevor Lawrence. This is where it kind of gets a little froggy. Do you want to take the risk on Tank Bigsby this week? I kind of do. I kind of
would too, especially if they get up. They're probably going to let him get some run.
They're going to salt that clock away, and it's not going to be Travis Etienne that does it. And we're going to really see the differentiating factors between the two, but I would temper my expectations on what Tank is week 1. He would be, again, a very deep flex or a pivot if you were the Jonathan Taylor owner, a pivot if you were the Cooper Kupp owner, a decent pivot that you could move to late, you know?
Yep. So I just want to recap that because I got a little long-winded. Starting Lawrence, starting Ridley, starting Kirk, starting Ingram. I would go ahead and roll. You drafted him in the fourth round. You got to roll out Travis Etienne anyways, even if you drafted him. And then, like you said, Tank Bigsby could be a good sneaky flex play, especially this week. And then on the Colts side of the ball, I would roll the dice with Anthony Richardson, especially in the super flex.
Mm-hmm.
And that's maybe Michael Pittman if you're in a deep league. That's pretty much it for me, I think.
I'm so far out on Michael Pittman right now.
I think I am too.
So far out. If you're in just one of the biggest pinches you could be in, Deion Jackson, that's a big pinch. Like you found out Sunday morning, you lost 2 running backs randomly. Then I would go Deion Jackson. But outside of that, no, I'm not touching anything else part of this.
I'm just rolling the dice with Anthony Richardson and letting it shake out and see what happens.
Yeah.
So I would rather have them on my bench with the other receiving options on my bench with 15 points rather than in my lineup with 2. Up next, man. Oh, I have the Jags winning that game for sure, and
Same.
I will take the Bengals because we didn't say anything for the Bengals Browns.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bengals as well.
Up next, Panthers at the Falcons. This is a 39.5 point over under with Atlanta favored by 3.5 points. Panthers side of the ball, I'm starting Miles Sanders. I think that's where my line ends.
I don't know where it's Miles Sanders, and that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it.
I mean, you could flex Adam Thielen if you were feeling frisky, I guess.
He would be a low flex for me right now.
That's what I'm
I got to
saying.
see what that offense looks like and how things shake out. What Bryce Young looks like under real pressure.
Yeah.
I need to see that before I been comfortable. But I think Adam Thielen later down in the season will be fine.
Agreed. And then on the Falcons side of the ball, it's an automatic start. You're starting Bijan Robinson. He is never
Yes.
coming out of your lineup unless it's a bye week. You starting Drake London?
Yes, as a receiver too. Yes,
Hesitantly as a receiver too.
maybe a little more than just hesitantly, but a receiver too.
And Kyle Pitts.
You have to. Who? If you roster in 2 tight ends, damn it, you better not be.
You better not be.
better not be.
Number 2 there, I believe, is Matt Collins. How do you feel about Matt Collins? Not enough
No.
passing work there?
No.
Okay.
No. Until proven
Bijan,
otherwise.
Drake, Kyle Pitts, the big 3.
Yeah.
All right, I
And
got it.
Desmond. Nah, not even in
I'm
DFS.
not even,
I wouldn't even do it.
not even super flex or DFS. I'm not doing that.
No, I thought about it for a second. I would think, but no.
Yeah, I do have the Falcons winning this game.
Yeah, I had the Falcons winning this game.
I definitely have the Falcons winning this game. And then up next, we have the Titans at the Saints. This is a 41 point over under, and New Orleans is favored by 3. On the Titans side of the ball, I'm starting Derrick Henry, and I'm starting Treylon Burks as a flex wide receiver.
I would start, obviously, Derrick Henry. I would start DeAndre Hopkins,
That's true.
and
I forgot about D-Hop, sorry.
that's where my line ends. I'm not starting Treylon Burks.
You don't think so?
No.
Your slander for D-Hop this offseason has been mighty.
Oh, yeah.
For you to say that you'd start him over Treylon is...
It's tough, right? Low-end
Yeah.
receiver, too, and that's the highest I can see him.
I would start D-Hop and Treylon. That's just me. Treylon in a flex, knowing that you're probably looking at wide receiver 35.
As I'm saying, like, I don't like it. You've got to have something better than Treylon Burks right now.
Maybe.
You have to.
Maybe. On the Saints side of the ball,
Don't you dare.
if you went late round quarterback, you can start Derek Carr.
Oh, yeah. I
If
like
you
Derek
went
Carr.
quarterback. Chris Olave is a must.
Don't you do it. Don't you dare. How
Well-
dare you?
What?
You are not starting Michael Thomas in any facet whatsoever. I refuse to say it. No. No, damn it. No.
I am in the agreement with you on that one. If you have Michael Thomas, hold him. Wait to see what happens. But once again, like we just talked about with the Colts, I would rather him go off on my bench with 15 points and lose than put him in my lineup and him get 1 to 4 points and then lose by even more.
I would much rather do that too.
So, and then I think you could probably start Jamal Williams in a flex.
Yeah.
At running back, especially because if they use him like they used him in Detroit, which I think teams have seen that's probably what suits him best, is just to get him downhill real close to the goal line. Then are you starting any tight ends? I mean, Juwan Johnson, obviously, if you're a Travis Kelce owner and you couldn't pick up Noah Gray.
Yeah, outside of that specific situation, no, I don't want Juwan Johnson starting my lineup yet. Chris Olave would be my smash start of the week right now. Yep. I really like this matchup for him. I feel like this is where his breakout party starts.
I feel that. Up next, I am going to take the Saints winning that game. I think the Saints are a lot better this year than they were last year.
I think they're better than what people think they are.
Yep, I agree. Up next, then we have the 49ers at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is also a 41-point over-under, and San Francisco is favored by 2.5 in this game. Niners side of the ball, who are you going to play?
I think the obvious ones. I'm going to go CMC, Kittle, and then right here, kind of where the line is. I know you drafted Debo high. I didn't like Debo coming into this season, and I don't know if I would put him over a lot of. I mean, you're starting him because where you drafted him, your roster probably dictates that. But I would temper expectations to say that he's most likely going to finish as a receiver 15 this season. I think I'm high, honestly, because I think that Brandon Ayuk eats into that, and I think Brandon Ayuk is the real start here. I like Brandon Ayuk. This is a pro Brandon Ayuk show. I really like him. I would roll Brandon Ayuk this week.
My problem with 49ers pass catchers, I like Brandon Ayuk too, but my problem with the 49ers pass catchers this year is that they have to have Brock Purdy repeat what he did in 8 games last year. Mm-hmm. And now that teams have that much tape on him and he's coming back off of the injury, I mean, he was Mr. Irrelevant for a reason, right? He was the last pick of the draft. Everyone kept passing on him. He could be the next Tom Brady. I'm not saying he's going to be, but he could be good. But we still... New year, new teams. No one really knows. He has to keep that up.
I mean, we've seen quarterbacks like Nick Foles do it before.
Yeah. So
literally.
Excuse me. So I do agree with you on that stuff. I would temper expectations on all of offensive players outside of CMC in this game, just because of the Steelers' defense. It is a tough week 1 matchup, technically for both teams going both ways.
Oh yeah,
two really good defenses. And then on the Steelers side of the ball, where you drafted him, you have to start him. You're starting Najee. I like Deontay. I'm going to start Deontay just because I think he will get peppered with targets.
I would go George Pickens over Deontay this week.
I don't think season long, probably. I don't know about now.
I'm going this.
I do like both. I do like both of these receivers, though.
Yes,
I'm happy if I was drafting and I got either one of those two. I was happy about it.
I think that they're most likely your receiver 3, and I'm happy putting them in my flex. I'm happy, even as a receiver 2. I think you're fine. I think you're okay.
And then where you drafted him, if you are like us and you do one tight end draft strategy, if you drafted Pat Freiermuth, you have to play Pat Freiermuth as well.
Yeah, he's a tier break. I'm going Pat Freiermuth for sure.
Yep. Kenny Pickett, I'm still probably not starting him in Superflex. It'd probably be most people drafted him as their QB 3 or 4 in Superflex, so I'm just gonna wait and see what he does.
This one specifically is for great friend of the show, Cody. Go Jordan Love over Kenny Pickett.
Oh, okay.
Go Jordan Love over Kenny Pickett. Do it.
All right, and then I'm gonna go out on a limb here and go different. I'm gonna take the Steelers winning this game. They're at home, first game of the season.
I have the Steelers winning this game too. It's weird, but I'm definitely starting the Steelers defense.
Yeah,
I want to see what's going on. I want to see Brock Purdy beat somebody that has a really good defense.
I would start both defenses.
I mean, yes.
Put it in perspective like that. You want to see the quarterback beat a team. So
yes.
And then up next we have the Arizona Cardinals at the Washington Commanders. Total over under is 38 points, and Washington is favored by 7. Cardinal side of the ball, I'm rolling out James Conner in a pinch. That's pretty much it. James Conner.
That's it. There's
what's Tune or whatever his name is, the rookie quarterback. Nope, he's not going to be able to support Marquise. Not going to be able to do anything. My smash start of the week, surprise, surprise, is the Commander's defense.
You don't say.
It's crazy.
Really reached in the bag for this one.
Yeah, man. And then on the Commander side of the ball, haven't gotten any updates on Terry. I want to know if Terry's going to play or not.
That's the thing, and I think that we're a little early for that. I think we're going to find out a little later in the week.
I think we're going to find out by Friday's episode.
Yes, I think that Terry, if he plays, he's a start.
Yep, Jahan Dotson is a start.
Jahan Dotson's a start. Gibson.
Yep, I would play him just because the defense is so bad and they're going to get up and just run the ball. Him and Brian Robinson both. I would play both of them in a flex play.
I would go Gibson over Brian Robinson right now.
I would too. 100% I would.
Okay.
But
I just wanted to see where you were at because I didn't know.
Not every roster that has Antonio Gibson has, there's always another team that has Brian Robinson in the same league.
Yeah, I'm just saying, that's where I'm at. If you knew where the line was, then I'm with the Gibson side of it.
Yep.
I would go Gibson over James Conner.
Yes. Well, yes.
Right now, I would.
I am trying to play as the least amount of Arizona Cardinals as possible.
Literally none.
If you can do that.
None. I have the Commanders winning this game.
I also have the Commanders winning this game, but crazier stuff has happened in the NFL. So
watch this be like a 75-point game. Like just a
shootout of two bad teams. All right, guys. As always, please be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. Let us know if there's a player you think that we forgot. Let us know if you want us to kind of talk a little more DFS, daily fantasy strategy, as we're covering these games too. We can start kind of incorporating that into our game breakdowns as well. If that's something you guys are interested in, I know I love DFS, Ray loves DFS, Brendan loves DFS. We all consistently win money every year. So I like to think we know what we're doing.
I have another little segment. If you stayed around this long, just a quick excerpt. If you guys want to hear this part, please let me know in the comments, because I was thinking about throwing something on the Saturday, just real quick, that I put together for the parlays that you can do on Sleeper, and just show some that I hit on or that I'm looking at here, and see what you guys think. If you guys want to see that, please let me know in the comments. I'll put
it'll be the franchise tagged DFS and gambling show.
Yeah, the Degenerate Show. Yeah, the Degenerate Show. Yes.
Franchise tags Degenerate Show Saturday mornings. Let us know if you guys want it. We can cover whatever bets, lines, books, DFS y'all want. We enjoy that stuff. So
I'll cover whatever you want me to watch. What we do as long as you watch it.
So guys, like I said already, but I'm going to beat a dead horse here. Please be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us grow, really helps us out, and we appreciate all 1,300 of you that have done it so far. Join the crew. That's all you got to do. Just join the crew. But until next time, we will see you